Everybody.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Yeah, it'll shake a little bit. Janet Hoover, hello. We're going to wait for a few people to arrive. This is Dreama. I'm going to tell you all about her in a second. She's fantastic. One of my best friends these days, I got to say.
We've been having a good time together.
We are at Angelina, which, have you been to Angelina before, Dreama?
Not this location.
Not this location, but you have been to a
I
location.
kind of laid low when you brought it up. If you notice, I was kind of like, but secretly I was like, yes.
Oh, you were happy to be
yes,
here? Fantastic.
Yes, chocolate.
Yeah, in a second, when we've already got 60 people, great, we're off to a good start. Hello, Marty Fankhauser. That's great to see you here. Ruda, hello, Suzette. I'm with Dreama. She's gonna introduce herself in a minute. We're at Angelina having hot chocolate. So, what I'm gonna do here?
You gotta do this.
Look what's going on here, folks.
Look, you gotta do this.
Beautiful Angelina hot chocolate.
Are you?
Look at that. Oh wait. Okay, go for it. Go for it. Nice. This is actually burning my hands because it's so deliciously hot. And then look what's going on here.
That's going to leave us.
Nice.
We may wind up with a mustache from the...
There's some people out there that are going to be pretty envious of what's going on there. Macarons. Oh, my sister. I see my sister here in the house. Fantastic. Hi, sis. Okay, back on these two beautiful faces. Okay, Dreama, we've got 80 people and counting here, so why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself to all the lovely folks out there.
Well...
Your name's Dreama. You live in the States.
I do, and I live in a little town.
What's the name of the town?
In Paris.
I love it. Paris, Kentucky,
Paris,
right?
Kentucky, yeah.
How cool is that?
It creates a lot of confusion when I tell people I'm going to Paris, because they kind of, since I'm in Paris, it's a little bit confusing. But I'm an artist and a writer, and I met Corey by just coming to Paris, kind of. Knew I was heading this way and gave a shout out to him because I had a project I was working on that I needed his help.
Yeah, so we've been collaborating on a project that we'll talk about in a minute. Let me know, everybody, if you can hear Dreama, because she's a very soft-spoken lady, and if we need to move the mic closer to her, we'll do that.
Okay.
And there's a lot of background noise today, that's why I mention it. Is it possible to confuse Paris, Kentucky with Paris, France at all?
Not for people who've been to both, but otherwise. One's very tiny.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Janet says she thought you were going to say Paris, Texas.
I know, there's actually, and I think there's a Paris, maybe Indiana or something. Yeah, Tennessee. Yeah, that's right, Tennessee. So there's actually more than one Paris in the United States. So.
Fantastic. So if you're just joining us, 115, we're getting some good viewership here. Welcome, everybody. We are at Angelina, so both of us are enjoying Chin Chin.
Oh, this is dangerously good.
This is dangerously good.
Yeah.
This will put you in a coma if you drink too much of it, but in a good way, right? So Angelina hot chocolate. We're here at the Luxembourg Gardens because there is a location right on the north edge of the park. Dreama, you live in Paris, Kentucky.
Yes.
What do you do as a profession? Because I find it to be very, very interesting.
I'm an artist. I've been an artist for many years, for about 30 years, and about 10 years ago I got really serious about teaching, and I teach. But what's changed with the technology now, where I used to do live workshops, I now teach online. So I have students from around the world, which is really fun for the people that are involved and fun for me.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
They're saying it's a little hard to hear you, so we're just going to raise that up a little bit and that'll be good.
Try that.
Perfect. So yeah, I got to tell you, Dreama, I put links here in the description of this.
Hang on a second. It's the eyes can't see. Is it up high enough? Slid all the way down.
I got you.
Okay.
So Dreama's paintings are fantastic, and I'm not just saying that because I'm actually quite picky when it comes to paintings, and you really know what you're doing. So it's dreamatolleperry.com. I got the link in the description here. And either right now or after the chat, go and check out her paintings. She's phenomenal. So she doesn't just paint, and she doesn't just travel around the world painting, but she teaches. She's an instructor, and you have these beautiful courses online. You just did one in Tuscany, from Tuscany.
Yes.
And it's essentially, why don't you describe in a few words, what is the course? If someone signs up for your online course, what are they getting?
Oh, well, the thing, I love to teach, and I love color. And it was just kind of a dream of mine to be able to, I love to travel. And so the courses that I have actually immerse you in the places that we go to. So the one that I have up for Tuscany right now, it's not only about painting. We have adventure videos, and we have that take you into the countryside, and we have recipes and wine recommendations and meditation videos and how to bring Tuscany into your home. So we kind of fold a whole lot of things into the courses because it's my desire that people have this feeling of just really being able to immerse themselves in it as they're painting it. So that's kind of in a nutshell of what they're about.
And what I think you're so good at is when you become a part of that program, for example, your Tuscany program, you really feel immersed. It's about as close to Tuscany as you're ever going to get without being in Tuscany.
I hope so. That's what we were shooting for.
You've really done a great job. So it's not just for artists, even though part of the project is there are videos of you with the easel, painting alongside, you have an image you're working off of, and you help people along the way, the palettes and the brushes and the techniques that they can use.
I really made it for all levels. I wanted it to be, because, you know, I started somewhere, we all do, and I wanted to have it that anybody could come into it and start, but then also I have a lot of seasoned artists that get a lot from it as well. So
that's great.
Yeah.
So if there are any fans, current fans of Dreama watching, hello to you. I wanted to give you a
and I would say hello, but my eyes, I can't read the little tiny
I'm going to do my best as you. I'm going to do my best to read as many comments as I can. And if anyone wants to fire a question to Dreama, go ahead, and I'll see. Hopefully, we'll catch it and we can answer your question. Now, why don't we, while we're talking about your program, why don't we talk about how we got together and sort of a little bit of an announcement ahead of time about what's coming in 2019.
Well, it's one of the things I love about, I think we're all of us so fortunate to be alive these days. Because I was thinking today when I was getting ready to come over here, how many, it's just mean.
Sorry, just gratuitous.
Just mean. Even while I'm talking, I can't eat it now.
Oh, you can eat it. Go ahead. You can eat and talk. They don't care.
How fortunate we are that with being online, some of my best friends I've met online and got to know them long before I ever met them in person.
Yep.
And with the project that I currently have that I'm working on, I was online cruising one day, as one does, and I somehow came across French fries. Cool. And I'm not sure how that happened, but it was on Facebook. And so as soon as I started watching Corey's tours, which are wonderful, I was like, this is what I need. This is what I need. I'm going to Paris. I want to know a lot about it. I don't want to be a surface person here. I want to know the stories. The stories are what make any place fascinating.
Yeah.
And so I reached out to you in an email, and you were just so generous immediately to say, yeah, I'm open to this. Let's do this thing. So
yeah. So your previous or your current project or your current what is it? Membership sort of series, your course.
The course I have right now.
The course is in Tuscany. That you already went and you filmed all your stuff in Tuscany, and you're going to do.
And I have one in Provence that's already done too.
Another Provence one.
Yeah.
So you were going to move to a Paris course,
right?
And that's how I got contacted by Dreama, and she said, "Can you be our tour guide and show us around, and give us the stories and show us some of the beautiful areas?" And
I honestly couldn't believe when I started watching your stuff, because this was exactly what I was wanting, and so I was like, there's somebody out there already. And I do love how life has the synchronicities, the things that when you're ready, the person appears. Because you weren't doing this, the Facebook's Lives probably with your tours a year ago?
No, not a year ago.
Yeah.
No. It all sort of happened at the same time.
It was time for me to do the Paris course, and Corey's here doing this. I mean, it was like a perfect match.
So that's how we met. So earlier this year, Dreama and her husband came over, and we spent a lot of time together touring through Paris, and I'm going to be part of, this is sort of the pre-announcement for her Paris course next year in 2019 that you can join, and I'm going to be part of it.
Yeah.
That's the announcement. There, we've done it.
Yeah, no, we just went ahead and said it. We were going to wait till the end, but I don't want to say just, take a minute here to brag on Corey, but working with him, even this week since I've been back for 30 days this time, and I wanted to just kind of get out and hang out with Corey, and I told him I love when he's doing it, that he's still, I know these are not the first time you've seen some of the places that you go to, not by a long shot, and his passion is so delightful and invigorating to be part of that, to watch it. It makes you excited yourself whenever the little things that you uncover and the stories and stuff is just, and so I'm excited actually for my people to get to be part of that whenever the course opens.
Thank you, and I'm excited for my people to discover you, so there's going to be some really nice cross-pollination, I think, here, which is why I wanted to bring you on and put you on the public page for everybody. A nice Café Chat here from Angelina. We're having the delicious, rich, silky smooth.
Hank says I can hardly wait for her next course in Paris, so I'm seeing some of the people that I know.
Excellent. Okay, so your eyesight's better than you let on, honestly, Dreama. Come on. You can read those comments.
If I squint.
So yeah, we're at Angelina having some beautiful hot chocolate and some of this.
Macarons. Those are paintable. We may have to have some of those in the course to paint.
Absolutely.
I do want to say, too, the courses I'm going to have this time, I'm excited, we're doing watercolor as well. I usually do oil, but this is going to be oil and watercolor. They say they don't mix, but in this course they do.
Oh, nice.
Okay?
I like that.
We're going to have both.
And if someone, for example, was into colored pencil, as
they could totally,
they could follow along.
That's not
right?
what I teach, but the thing is there's going to be so many things in the courses there always are that you get.
Because you're talking about composition, color, all those things. Yeah. Okay, I like that. I like that. So keep an eye out for that in 2019 on her website, Dreama Tolle Perry. She's got a great Facebook page as well and Instagram. So I put all those links there. But I want to give these folks some content because that's what I like to do. And when I bring a guest on, I like to find out how they've been interacting with Paris and how Paris has affected them and how perhaps it's changed them, how it's inspired them. You as an artist definitely are looking for inspiration in Paris. So you have been very generous to make a beautiful PDF of your top 10 places to paint in Paris. Top 10 for different reasons, right?
Yeah.
And we're going to go through a few of them, but the exclusive content that I'm going to give to my Patreon subscribers is I'm going to upload this beautiful PDF that you made of your top 10 places to paint. And so you're going to get the full list if you're a Patreon member, but we are going to touch upon a few of them here, sort of maybe like your top 3 or something.
Yeah, and it's almost tongue-in-cheek because, I mean, with a city like Paris, it's challenging to pick. Some of them are broader picks. It's a big area because there's so much. Yeah,
you're almost spoiled for choice. I mean, there's too much. How do you decide where you're going to paint, for example?
Well, I love what your sister said. It was almost too much beauty for one city.
Yeah. Exactly. You see that, sis? I share your quote.
Yes.
My sister said, too much beauty for one city.
Yeah.
And
it's
I told
true.
her.
I think of that all the time. It's true.
Yeah.
It's true.
It really is.
Yeah.
That's why I can keep making these live videos over and over and over. There's always something new to show people.
Yeah.
Go ahead and pick one from your list here that you'd like to mention.
Oh gosh, well I put together 10, and it was actually not easy, and it's kind of almost tongue-in-cheek for anybody to say these are the 10 places, because the thing I love about Paris is each person when you consume it, I think every person finds their own Paris, and so I share these humbly with you as things that kind of stirred me. I think if you look at Paris, you're going to find things that excite you in a different way. But one of the places that Corey took us that I absolutely love, and that's one of the things, again, I'm plugging you here, but it's really true. Whenever a lot of the places I would probably walk by and not necessarily realize, like the museum, and I'm going to probably butcher some words here, so help me out. The museum, this museum,
Musée de Montmartre.
Musée de Montmartre.
Yeah,
if you can just stay with me, I can say these words and just repeat it. I don't know that I would have taken the time to have gone through it the way we did. When we went through the museum, what I loved about it was it really had a lot of the artists in it. They had a lot of old black and white photographs of painters from turn of the century out. They were just like we do, get out with our easels and deal with the weather and deal with being a little bit self-conscious. Painting is knowing somebody can walk up and see what you're doing. And whenever I went through there, I had such a sense of connection. When I started looking, and I thought, these are people like me, and it was kind of the first time I think in my life that I really felt that strong sense of belonging in terms of we're all creative beings, and I can see kind of their hearts on their sleeves when you saw them out doing their paintings. It wasn't the stuff in the museum, it was them out doing their thing. And so when we walked out back, there's a beautiful garden there, and it's the garden that Renoir would set up a lot of his models in to paint. They have the swing hanging back there, that one of the lady in the swing standing, they have a swing back there in the tree now, which is part of what he would set up, kind of organize his models and stuff there to paint from. And so I got to sit there and do a little watercolor back there, and that place is amazing. It has this energy to it. So I just went again this week, and it's very quiet. If you go on a weekday, there's not you can pay just to go to the garden. It's like €4 to go to the garden.
Right.
And so it's a very peaceful place, and so it was like one of my top picks.
Yeah, so it's the Montmartre Museum. It's a part of the Montmartre that, even if it's crazy around there near the souvenir shops in Sacré-Cœur, you pop into the gardens of this museum, and it's always nice and quiet. And you can either go in the museum, or you can just pay €4 to go in the gardens. It's where Renoir had a studio and painted. It's where Susan Valadon and her son, Utrillo, used to spend time as well. So just really lovely spot. I mean, it's like you said, your piece of Paris, right?
Yeah. So a couple of more places. I'm going to kind of pair these together.
Okay.
Because they are places, if you're here and it's colder, or it's a rainy day and you're looking for a place that you kind of want to get away from it. I'm not going to say this because I don't know how to pronounce it.
You can say this. Le Café.
Le Café
des Chats.
Chat.
Café des Chats, the cat cafe, which
And anybody who knows me knows, of course, I would find the Cat Cafe while I'm here in Paris, of course.
Yeah.
But it's a really cool, fun little place to go hang out. And I took my little watercolors in there and sat again. It was quiet.
Amazing, amazing.
And was able to. I will warn you, there's some furry critics hanging out in there, so you may get some. But it was fun. The other place I would recommend that I fell in love, and again would not have known except for the tour with you.
Yeah.
The Passages.
Where?
The Passages.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, a lot of them are really good, and they are covered, and they are filled with. I mean, they came into being in the 1800s.
Yes.
And so they're filled with old signage, old storefronts, a lot of places to sit and have a cup of coffee or whatever, and do your painting.
Yeah, you've got those details. You've got the quality of light coming through the skylights, which I think really affects, from an artist's perspective, of capturing an atmosphere. And also, there's architecture and perspective, and all of those
the
things.
other day when I went through there was a bunch of art students everywhere positioned with their tablets and stuff out. So yeah, I know. I think they might have been high school age, but they were all out in full force drawing.
I kind of wish I could go back to my art school days where you just sit out there and you're just drawing perspectives and things and architecture. I envy that.
Yeah, I know.
I guess I could go back.
When that was your biggest job to do that.
Yeah, I know, right? Before I was a dad and a homeowner and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. So the Cat Cafe, which, by the way, I did a chat one day from the Cat Cafe.
I actually learned about that from you, I think on Instagram or some post you did. I'm telling you.
Nice. So you are a true fan, follower?
I'm a stalker, whatever you want to call it.
It goes the other way, too, believe me. And then how about you give us one more out of your top 10?
Oh, gosh. Let me look at my little list here.
Go ahead and scroll down. We've got her beautiful PDF that I'm going to share with my Patreon subscribers.
This is actually, and this is a busier area, but if you know the right times to go, which sometimes it's just you take
Go ahead, let them have it.
It's the Odette and the Shakespeare & Co. bookstore area.
Yeah.
That whole little area there are, the streets are really beautiful. Mm-hmm. And one of my favorite things to do, again, thanks to you, this is starting to sound like a fan club, the Corey fan club.
It's like an infomercial for Corey.
Is Odette's, which has the choux pastry, which are the little cream puff things from heaven.
Yeah, the little round balls of heaven.
They're dangerous. It's things you don't almost wish you didn't learn about while you're here. I keep saying my jeans are shrinking, but I don't have a dryer, so I can't really blame it on the heat in the dryer. I don't know what's happening. But they have a little upstairs, actually 2 little levels to sit on, which I would not have known. I mean, that when you stand back and look at Odette, it looks really beautiful from the front. It's very paintable. So if you sit at one of the cafes back from it, it would really be fun to paint, and I've done that.
Yeah.
But also, if you get you a little pastry and a little cup of coffee and head upstairs to the second story, it's happened several times for us. We got the seat by the window, and there's a beautiful view of Notre Dame from there. So that whole little area down through there is just so inspiration field, I think.
Essentially, if you want your own private view of Notre Dame, that's the place to go.
It's amazing.
It's amazing how people, they go in the ground floor, but they don't think to go up.
You just kind of don't realize the stairs are kind of back there and hidden, and you're not sure if you actually have access to them or not. Right. And it's like you go up and it's a whole little room. So, yeah.
That's even in a very, very known, popular, busy place, you can still find a quiet moment that is just yours. And that's incredible.
What is the Passages, just to touch back on those, have that same feeling. You and I were commenting that day when we were there, it's like stepping back in time because it's quiet and you almost forget. When I pop out of there, I forget that we're right in the heart of the city and the hubbub that's going on, because when you slide back in there, it's quieter, everything it is old, and you just have this sense of timelessness, almost like you've slid back.
And you've been throwing a lot of love my way, and to throw some back, what I love about her courses on her website is that she really will get you closer to a place, because you're an artist at heart. You're someone who will sit there and you're very grateful. You have a lot of gratitude for what you're able to experience and the life that you're able to live. And really, through your paintings and through your courses and the beautiful meditation videos that you make, I mean, this lady really gets it. And it'll really get you closer to the soul of Tuscany, to the soul of Paris. And so I'm really excited to see what the course is for Paris. Even though I'm part of it, I really have no idea what to expect. It's going to be really exciting.
They're always a work in progress. So
I hope you don't edit me out completely.
No. It's fun because they are within themselves. I mean, I love to paint and I love to write, and then the courses are an entire big creative project themselves. So I have thankfully a lot of really wonderful people involved, including you now on this.
I know. Now I'm kind of part of the Dreama team.
The Dream Team.
Now, your people. Now, my people call themselves the Freaks. your people call themselves something, right?
Yes.
What's that?
Self-named, the Dreamettes.
The Dreamettes.
The Dreamettes.
The
Yeah.
Dreamettes are meeting the Freaks today.
Yeah,
I like that.
I like that too.
Yeah, a colliding of two worlds. It's pretty great.
A lot in common.
Now, if someone, for example, doesn't take your course, what are other ways that they can follow you and kind of tap into the whole Dreama perspective of things? What else do you have for outlets?
Well, I'm totally. I have blogs, so I usually put out a post about once a week, and I just kind of write about where I am and what's going on, and hopefully, I've done that for 10 years. I've got a blog anniversary coming up, so 2018, 2019 actually, right at the beginning. And I love doing it, and so and I have a lot of, with my new website, I've got a new website coming up in a couple of weeks here. We're going to be revealing it, and it's going to have a lot of additional, just nice things for you when you come on the site to be able to dip into that hopefully stir your inspiration and your creativity. And I like what I do online for it to be a soft place for people to land.
A soft place for people to land. Well, that's nice. I like that.
I do. And so that's part of my joy that I get to do that. So
yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
And then you're on Instagram. People can follow you there.
Yeah.
And your Facebook as well. They can follow you on your Facebook, which I mentioned as well in the description here. That's great.
Yeah.
So, to finish, I don't want to get too philosophical or deep on you.
Okay.
How are you different when you're in Paris? Because you've been here a couple of times now.
Yeah.
Can you sort of, slightly pontificate on that concept of how are you slightly different than you would be in Paris, Kentucky, for example?
Well, I have to say, for anybody when you come here, I think I had been before and done kind of the surface touristy things, and this year when I've come, I've been here for longer periods of time, so I've been able to immerse better. And I think one of the things that for me that was striking to me about Paris, it's been so good for me, heart and soul, is that it's a city built by creatives. And I never cease to marvel at all the things that I see that have a creative person's touch to them.
I know. It's everywhere.
It's everywhere, and that in itself is inspiring, because one of the things as a painter, you don't always look at paintings to get inspiration. Painting comes from a lot of different things. And being out in Luxembourg Gardens and listening to the fountain and looking at all the things that are there, even for me, I have loved going to see the carousels. I've made it a point to see as many carousels as I could while I'm here.
Oh, nice.
But just the philosophical part of how I feel changed when I'm here is that I think feeling a connection and feeling a sense of that we are all creative. I touched on that before, but I think this time that shifted for me, that caught me off guard, is when I came, I felt like that I came for other reasons, but I kind of, in a way, kind of started uncovering myself and feeling that sense of worthiness to actually be connected to all the great creatives that have been before, because, and we are all that.
That's
but somehow
well said.
I've always put them up on a pedestal and thought I'm somehow different. And when I came this time, I was just very touched and moved when I saw things that I thought, we're all part of that. Yeah. We all own that in a way.
That's actually a good explanation of something that I've always been trying to put into words, that feeling of being worthy. Like now I'm sort of worthy of, I'm not a painter like Van Gogh, but I'm worthy of being part of that soup of inspiration and creativity and beauty and all of that.
Yeah.
You're part of that. You're allowed to be part of it.
Absolutely.
Right? I think that's pretty deep. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. I think that's a pretty good way to end this little chat.
So too.
I'm out of hot chocolate, sadly.
I'm not, and
well,
I'm not going to
bit.
share at this point, so you
There's a little bit left. So
it's been so wonderful meeting your freak people. I love that they have got themselves their own thing going. I love it.
I saw a comment from Valerie. Sorry, I don't remember your last name, Valerie, but she asked how she can get in contact about your courses. So all you got to do is go click the link in the description here of this video on dreamatolleperry.com, right? And they'll get all the info.
And if you want to contact, there's a way to just email me on there on my site. It's fine. We always get our support really quickly. So yeah.
Perfect.
And I have to say, for anybody that's not been able to give Corey a hug because they've not met him in person and stuff, and just think the world of him. He's a good guy. I have to tell you, I've so enjoyed working with him. It really have, and it's. I think for all the people that follow you online and get to watch your live tours, it's good to know behind the scenes that of course, they know behind the scenes because you do your live stuff, but it's all good. It
Well,
really is. Heart and soul.
I welcome those lovely comments and,
Yeah.
and those words, so I appreciate it. Thank you. And really, the feeling is mutual.
Yeah.
That's why I was very happy to bring you on here. And it's fun. Everybody next year, if they apply or become part of your course, they're going to be able to see us doing our thing together,
Yes,
and that's really
right.
exciting.
It
so.
is. It is.
Thanks so much, Dreama. I think that's just about it. A reminder from my people, my Patreon subscribers, again, the book club. Check out the sharing page, our private sharing page on Facebook. Christina Consolet is going to start the book club where they're all going to start reading books about Paris, and they're going to get together and talk about it. If you're not part of the sharing page, you can just request access, and I will accept you, and we'll be good to go. So keep an eye out for that.
Perfect.
Well, we're going to finish these macarons and our hot chocolate. I want to thank you so much. And
Thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure.
yeah, thank you. If anybody missed part of this live broadcast, don't worry. The replay is going to go directly up on my Facebook page, and I'll pop it up on YouTube as well. And I will see you next week for another live tour and another chat with some other wonderful person.
Yeah.
Unless you want to just keep coming back each time.
I'll hang out.
Okay, take care, everybody.
Bye.
Thanks a lot. Have a great weekend.